so we're going to paint. This is a painting that I've done before called Alpine Meadow. And this was done by Nicholas Hankins in, I think, season 32 of The Joy of Painting, the new season, or one of the new seasons. But I'm going to do a slightly different version. And I'm going to show you how you can change the season, and it changes the whole painting. Okay? So, we're going to start from the very beginning and go through till the end. And that includes doing the liquid white, which sometimes I skip when I'm doing these videos or if I'm painting live. But today we're not going to skip that part. And of course I've already got liquid white all over my hands because it wouldn't be me if I didn't do that, and it wouldn't be liquid white. Alrighty. So, by the way, I'm Sean. I am a certified Bob Ross instructor, and I'm going to show you today how to go through this step by step. Okay? Just get a little bit of liquid white on your brush. I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully you can. It's not a whole lot. Don't stick the whole brush in there and get it up to here with liquid white. Okay, that's going to be a disaster. Just come up here. I mean, you can literally just kind of tap it on and then just scrub it in. Okay, just scrub it in. Now, I know we're going to have a mountain in this painting, so we definitely don't want to put too much on. All right. And then once I get the liquid white on, I'll show you what colors we're going to use for this. But it's a very easy one, this version, because we're not going to use a whole heck of a lot of colors. Okay? Get a little more. Again, it's not a whole lot. Less is more. Okay? Oops, that time I put quite a bit. We'll start from the bottom here. All right. And I'm just going to dab it in, just like that. Okay, but I'm being very careful. I don't want to put too much. If you get too much on here, your mountain, well, it's not going to come out right. You're going to get mud, and that's not what we want. Okay, so welcome to our live on TikTok. And if you're joining us, say hi. Tell me where you're watching from. Don't be shy. I don't bite too much. Can't bite because it's not near you, but just tell us where you're watching from, and if you've ever painted a Bob Ross painting before, I'll check the chat from time to time. Okay, and I always like to step back and just sort of see what's going on. Okay, that's always a good habit to get into. And if you're just, if you've never painted before, one of the questions that I see a lot online is, can I just go to fill in the blank art store and buy some oil paint and start painting like Bob? And I mean, of course you could do that, but it's not going to really come out right. And I saw somebody in one of the various Facebook groups who mentioned that. Just, I think it was yesterday, said, I tried that. I'm not going to say the name of the store, but I went to a store and bought oil paint, and it just kind of mooshes together, just turns into mud. And so my advice is always, if you're going to paint like Bob Ross, don't make this harder than it has to be. Just go to bobross.com and buy the stuff there. That's the easiest way to do it. You're better off doing that. Okay, the brushes are made specifically for oil paints, and they're made specifically to Bob's recommendations, still even to this day, even though he's been gone 30 years. And the same goes for the oil paint. Okay, I'm just going to go across, just kind of even this out. All right. Now, just check and see anybody's in the chat. Hello. Thank you for the gifts. All right, watching from your house. Thank you, Jordy. Awesome. Jordy is one of my in-person students, and she's actually a digital artist, but I think she said that actual oil painting has helped improve her digital art. So you can always learn from this. Now, if you're wondering, how do I know if this is too much? Just do the fingerprint test. Just gently touch your fingers in different areas, and you can see there, hopefully, you can see my fingerprints through the paint. If you can see your fingerprint through the paint, you're good to go, okay? If it looks like you just dipped your whole finger into that can of liquid white, then it's too much, okay? Then you've got too much. All right, take a baby wipe that off my hands. All right, now I think we're just about ready to proceed. I'm gonna clean this brush out. Just gonna dry clean it on a paper towel, that's fine. That'll be fine for what we're doing here today. And let's get rolling. So I'm gonna show you all the colors that I have for this painting. It's pretty complicated. No, it's not actually. We've got titanium white, Prussian blue, midnight black, and then for our signature, just a little bit of red. Okay, I might add some brown, but I'm not sure yet. Maybe for like the trees, maybe we'll throw in some Van Dyke brown just for the branches and for the trunks. Okay, so let me set that to the side. Thank you for the gifts. Those are appreciated. Those sorts of things do help us get seen by other folks. Hey, Michael. Those little gifts help, you know, sending a few pennies our way to buy paints and all that good stuff. So thank you very much. All right, so we're just going to take that brush and we're going to load it with some blue. This is the Prussian blue. I tend to use Prussian blue more for my winter paintings. It's a little bit colder than the phthalo blue. Okay, just get yourself a little bit of paint. Set your palette down. Doesn't take a whole lot. We're going to start up here. And we're just going to dance in a happy little sky. Just like that. Just make those little X strokes or figures of 8. I'm not really lifting the brush up off of the canvas. Okay? And I'm purposely changing the pressure that I'm using. And what's going to happen is it's going to mix with that liquid white. And as it goes down, it's going to get lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter. So it's going to look like this part's closer, this part's further away. Okay? The horizon's off in the distance. And that happens automatically. That's one of those happy accidents that Bob likes to talk about. Okay? Just come down. You might get some hairs on the canvas. That's fine. You can take it off, leave it, whatever. I tend to leave them. I just figure, especially in this day and age, you don't have to worry that this was some kind of AI. Okay? Somebody buys the painting and there's a hair or two in it, they know this was man-made. Okay? Just kind of step back and see where you're at. Okay? This is really, it's that easy. We're going to leave those holes, and those are going to become kind of cloud formations that are maybe forming in our sky. Okay? Just kind of come down there. Alrighty. I know we're going to have snow in this area, so I'm going to come back and I'm going to load just a little more Prussian blue, and I'm going to add some midnight black to it, just to darken it a little bit. Okay? And we're just brush mixing this. I'm not really too worried. Don't do it with the palette knife. Just mix it on the brush. Let the magic happen on the palette with the brush. And then we're going to bring this. This will be the shadows in the snow. That'll look really cool. People wonder, how in the heck did you do that? I think you worked for days laboring over it, but nope, we don't. Always start down here. Almost messed that up. Always start at the bottom and then come back to the top. And for this one, it doesn't really matter because this is going to be snow. Sometimes you'll see Bob leave a shimmer of light in the middle. Doesn't really matter for this painting. I mean, unless we change our mind, and if we change our mind, we'll already have that there. So it's good to go. All right. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the gifts. Those always help. All righty. Helps other people find our channel. All right, just kind of drag it across there. This is very gentle. Just kind of trying to blend it all. Okay, and set that brush to the side. Take a clean, dry 2-inch brush. Make sure it's dry. Otherwise, this is going to all turn to mud. And we're just going to come up here, and there's different ways that you can blend this. You can use the same kind of strokes that you just did, those little figure of 8 strokes, or you can kind of come in here and blend it this way, making little circular strokes. It doesn't really matter. We'll just do the figure of 8 since that's what we started with. These little X's. Okay. And you just kind of gently brush across there. Kind of bring it all together. But see, if you leave those little holes in there, it's going to look like there's action in this sky. And you don't have to do a whole heck of a lot. Okay? You don't even have to get the fan brush out and put clouds. You've already got the cloud action there. And that's really nice. That's one of those happy accidents I think Bob likes to talk about. You know, just let the canvas work, let the equipment work for you. Okay, we're getting some paint built up. So just beat the devil out of the brush. Knock that off. Come back up here. And voila, we are just about ready to go. I think, let me step back. Always step back 6 feet and look. Alrighty. Hello, hello. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for any questions. Let us know where you're watching from. I'm trying to keep my eye on the chat. Now, to my mind, these corners need to be darkened up just a smidge. Okay. So we're going to take our dirty brush, just add some more Prussian blue, maybe a little bit more of that midnight black in there. Okay. There we go. There we go. That should stick out better. And the whole purpose of that, what we're trying to do, is to draw the viewer and their eye into the painting. Okay. Darken up those corners. Maybe darken this up down here a little bit. All right. All right. Like I said, always step back a few feet. You don't want to find out at the end, oh darn, I should have changed X, or I should have changed Y, or should have done this. Find out now. This is the time. And just come back up here. And again, little X strokes. Boom, 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 boom. There you go. Just like that. And then just brush across there. Let's smooth that out a little bit. All right. I think we're in business. Take a step back once again. Make sure you like it. I'm liking it. Okay. All right. Hello from Florida, Gilberto. How you doing? Hopefully everybody's having a good day today. All righty. So we're done with the sky. Now comes my favorite part. We're just going to take that black and maybe just a little bit of blue to it, just to change it up. Could even add a little bit of red if you wanted to. As a matter of fact, I guess I'll do that. We'll put some bright red in there with that black and that blue, and that'll make a really dark lavender color. Okay. Get a little roll of paint. Put across it and get that little roll of paint. Kind of decide where does your mountain live? And I think our mountain lives right there. Well, it certainly does now. Okay, maybe there's a little bump right there. Get yourself some paint and then start scraping that dark off. The only thing that we're really concerned with is the outline, the top. We're not concerned about the stuff in the middle, okay? Hey, how's it going, guys? If you've got questions, feel free to ask. We will post these on our YouTube channel, and then you can follow along from there. I think that was a question right now. Put that little bump right there. All right. I think we're in business. Now just make sure when you're doing this, and I probably say this a lot, but keep the black or the dark for your mountains, just keep it about like that. A lot of times, if I have new students, they'll bring that dark all the way down here. We don't want to do that, okay? Unless you're trying to have a huge mountain, then we don't want to do that, okay? And I'm not really trying to have a huge mountain today. All right, I'm going to clean that 1-inch brush and some odorless paint thinner and beat the devil out of them. Set them to the side. We'll get another one. Now, this is another mistake. Don't come in here and try to do it like this, because you're not going to be able to see where your brush is relative to your outline, okay? So come up like this. Kind of then wiggle up your way to the edge and then just pull down, pull down. Trying to take some of that excess paint off, and that'll make our next step easier. Okay, just pull. You can also start to see some of your highlights and your shadows forming. And that is really cool when it happens. Now, I don't know if you can see it at home on your phone screen or whatnot, but it's really cool. All right. Kind of come up here. Maybe pull that down a little bit further. And then just make the mountain smile. And it'll look like that old mountain sitting there poking his head out of the mist that's down here. Come up again, very carefully. You don't want to mess up your highlights and your shadows. But you really don't want to mess up is that outside edge. Okay? Just pull. Pull down. And there you go. Come up here. Get some of that guy right there. We're just trying to pull and distribute this paint, make it thinner, so that that next layer will stick. Okay. All right. And step back, kind of see what you've got. I am liking this so far. If you have questions, feel free to ask. When I step back, I am trying to check the chat, go backwards, see if I see any questions. All right. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the little gifts. Throwing a few pennies our way if you're enjoying the stream. Helps us to buy more paint and canvases and all that good stuff. All right. Now I've got a dirty knife, so I'm going to clean it off. So I'm going to cut in front of the camera here. Sorry about that. Sometimes people will ask if I sell the paintings that I do here live. Yes, I do. You can just direct message me here on TikTok, and I'll send you the link to the Etsy if you're so interested. All right. So we're going to take our white, and I just pulled it out flat and got a little roll of paint. Hopefully you can see that. Okay. This is the most fun part of all of this thing, at least for me, is painting the mountains. So we're going to come up here and notice how I'm holding the knife. Notice that my finger, my index finger, is nowhere near this blade. Okay. Keep it away. I see people all the time do this. Don't do that. Do not do that. Keep it below, and I'm holding it very gently. It almost wants to fall out of my hand. Just come up here, and you're going to get that breaking happen. That's what we're going for. That's the look that we're trying to achieve. Just like that. Okay? Come back. Every time I step off, I'm just reloading the knife. I'm not doing anything you don't know. Right down the mountain. Okay? Right down the mountain. All right. Let's see. Any questions here? All right. If you got questions, feel free to ask, but I am trying to pay attention to the chat. Okay. That looks good so far. So we're going to keep on. And I can see how my highlights and shadows were set up earlier. So we're gonna just kind of follow that. Now notice, because I see this a lot too, people who've it's maybe their first time or their third time, they'll bring this knife up here and they'll go this way with the highlights. That's the light source is over here. Okay, so the light's coming in this direction, which means that your knife should be coming like this. Okay, it's going to go kind of from left to right, and as it goes down, your hand's going to open up. Okay, keep that in mind. And we've all done that. When I first started painting, I did this, and I was like, afterwards, I was like, why do my mountains not look like blobs? They look weird. That's why. Okay, let's take this, and maybe we'll connect that together. Okay. And one of the things, if you've painted with me before, you've been on the channel or YouTube or whatever, you'll know I don't like straight lines on my mountains. And what I mean by that is kind of like that. Okay. These are okay. They're not bothering me too much today. I'm going to put just a little bit of snow on this guy. And we're going to push that peak way back when we do our shadows. So just wait for that. You'll see that in a second. Okay. All right. Speaking of shadows, we're going to get take some of our white here. We'll set it to the side, get a little bit of the blue. There's a little bit of that midnight black in there too. That's okay. I'm looking for something kind of marbly like that. I want it to be lighter than this, but darker than the highlights. All right, if that makes any sense. Okay, I'm going to set my big knife down. I'm going to get if I can grab it, this is the small Bob Ross knife. He makes 2. Okay, and I'm going to take I like using the small knife for the shadows. It just seems to work better for me. Try both of them for yourself, see which one you like. Thank you so much. If you've given gifts, I appreciate those. That makes the algorithm show us to more people. Plus I can, go out and buy some paints. Now we're going to do the peak that's furthest away first. And in my mind, that's this little guy over here. We're just going to come up here and see with that marbling effect, you're going to get all sorts of colors. And it's going to look like you worked for days and days trying to do that. And it literally took you a minute. Okay? Come back up here now, watch. If I bring this shadow, I'm going to push that guy all the way back. Isn't that cool? Who knew? Who knew that you had the power to push mountains around? Just put your little shadows there. All those little colors happen on their own. Maybe there's one right there. There's one right in here. Okay, just like that. Maybe you want to mix up a little more. I'm starting to run out already. So we're just going to mix some more. All right. Come up in here. There we go. Down in here. All right. Remember your angles. It's just a game of angles. Really. Come over here. Just like that. Set that old brush to the side. Take a step back. I feel like I need some more highlights. And that's okay. We can do that. Come back in here, maybe this old mountain comes just like that. Okay? That's your bravery test. And the first time I ever got a mountain to do what I wanted, there was no way I was going to do that. I was so scared. I was like, oh no. But once you get the practice, it's not so scary. Okay, just let that paint break. down there, all the way down that mountain. Can add some more up in here. Just like that. I'm not too worried about here. I know I'm gonna have a big tree over here, so I'm not too terribly worried about that side. Maybe set that to the side. I'm gonna come up here now, and we're gonna just tap, 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 tap very lightly with this brush to mist out the bottom of this. It'll look like that old mountain. He's sitting there in some fog and some mist. Boy, it's a really cold day out there. Hope you're wearing your jacket, because it's a cold one. Just come up, sweep up. This is very light. 2 hairs and some air. Come in here. Gotta make those noises. Just like that. Got some white paint on there. Just beat the devil out of the brush a little bit on the brush beater rack, and you're good to go. You can, again, I'm not too terribly worried about that. You could take, just kind of pull that way. That is a bit of a straight line, and that's bugging me. There we go. Felt like that should be more pronounced. Okay. Take that. There we go. That's much better now. You can even bring that ridge and have him kind of come doop, 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 just right in there. Then again, sweep up, sweep up, sweep up, sweep up, very gently. Got a lot of paint here, so be careful. Okay. All right. Step back, see where we're at. Yes, I am using oils. I am a certified Bob Ross instructor. I do not use acrylic. The one time that I use acrylic is as an underpainting. And this is something that I saw online. Somebody swore that they painted with oil and acrylic, both wet at the same time, and that they painted oil first. There's all sorts of misinformation on the internet. Don't do that. Oil dries much slower than acrylic. If I'm going to use acrylic on my oil paintings, I use it as an underpainting, and I let it completely dry. Usually it takes about 30 minutes, but I try to let it dry for several hours or several days just to be on the safe side. Okay, but you do not use oil under acrylic at all. Okay. All right. You'll hear all sorts of misinformation on the internet. Let's see what we're going to do next. I know. We can put in some foothills. There should be some foothills in here. So, we're just going to come in and get some of our dark color. I'm going to mix it with that shadow color that we had. Okay? Because I want these trees to be far off. That's going to help push those mountains back and create this illusion of depth into our painting. And there's different ways that you could do this. Bob sometimes will come in and he'll just kind of come and he'll put a footy hill like this. But you don't want to destroy all that mist. You want to keep that mist there. That's your good friend. Okay? And he'll just kind of come just like that. And I'm using that mist as a separator. Maybe there's some that come up a little higher there, okay? That's fine. And all I'm using is the corner of the brush, because you got to make those noises. That helps for some odd reason. I don't know why, but it really does. Once I started making noises, I started painting better. It's weird. Okay, kind of step back. Oh boy, we got a mess. Let's see. Let's see. Can we fix that? Make something out of it? I think so. Just take your 2-inch brush, and I'm just going to mist out the bottom. Okay? We're just going to mist the bottom part. There we go. Oh, yeah. Very nice. Now this mist right here, boy, that's our good friend. Do not destroy it. Do not destroy it. Okay, we're gonna come back. I'm gonna take that same color, but I'm gonna make sure I get more of the midnight black, maybe some more of the Prussian blue, and I'm just mixing this with the brush. Okay, not really overthinking anything here. Let the brush, let the paint work for you. Let the canvas do the work. Okay, I'm a lazy painter. I don't want to overwork myself. All right, so we're gonna come back and maybe, all right, right here. Maybe these trees come in front right there, but we want to keep that mist. That's going to make it look further back. These are darker because they're forward in the painting, okay? And we're just going to kind of come in here, and maybe they kind of go off in that direction. I don't know. Who knows? Make it up as you go. Just make it up. That's fine. You don't use patterns. This is not paint by numbers. Although I will say, if you've ever painted paint by numbers, it's not that easy. Okay, it's not that easy. All right, thank you for the gifts. Thank you if you're enjoying the live stream. Those gifts do help TikTok share us with other folks. So just throw a few pennies my way. It is appreciated. Not that you're required to. And we're going to take that 2-inch brush again. And we're going to mist out that bottom. All right. And that's really going to give you that really cool effect. Okay. And now it looks like there's this bank of fog in between the trees and the mountains. And oh, it's just really, really nice. Really nice. This is the beauty of oil painting. Trying that with acrylic, probably almost impossible. I'm not going to say it's totally impossible. The moment I say that, somebody's going to show me that they did it. But at least for me, it was. I can tell you that. Okay. Thank you, Z. Thank you. Hey, Pam. Nice to see you. It's been a minute. We were in Florida together becoming certified Ross instructors, and it's always awesome to see one of my old Florida friends. I love Florida. I wish I could go back. Sadly, I don't think I'm going to go back anytime soon, but hey, you never know. But check that mist out. Check that mist out. Okay. Let's start putting some snow in this bad boy. Okay, we're going to load that brush up with this titanium white. And this is what I mean when people say, oh, you can just use any old oil paint. Look at that. That's how thick and firm Bob's paints are. Okay? Very nice. Very nice. That's what you need. You don't want a soupy oil paint. Just going to pull that fan brush. And maybe we've got snow coming in both directions here. Woo, look at that. Just kind of pull it. And leave those little kind of streaks. That will be very nice. It's a cold day out there today, let me tell you. And I'm wearing shorts while I'm painting this, but I should have probably wore jeans. It's kind of cold, check it out. Okay, we've got all that snow. Looks like a real snow mist type day. Okay, take a step back, see if you like what you've got. And I like what I've got. Thank you for all the little gifts. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you, Che. I appreciate that very, very much. It's your first gift ever. Wow, I'm honored. I just happened to be looking to see if there were any questions. All right, look at that. I know what we need. This would not be a Bob Ross painting if we didn't have some big happy trees. Now this is a winter painting, so I don't have any green up here at all. Okay, I'm going to mix that Prussian blue and that midnight black together. Just mix them together. Okay, doesn't really. I'm just looking for a dark color, and I'm just looking to get a whole lot of paint onto my my fan brush here. Okay, check this out. I think we're going to put this old tree right here. Well, he does live there now. Whether or not we wanted him there, he's there now. Okay. Thank you for the follows. You guys are awesome. I appreciate it. If you want to follow along, we do have a YouTube channel. And usually, a couple days after I've done this one, I'll put it on the YouTube. So you can paint at home. And I hope you do paint at home. Okay. Tip your brush up. Now, Bob does two types of trees, down and up. Personally, I don't really care for the down trees. So I do the up trees. Okay. There we go. Just touch, touch, touch. And just walk down the tree. And it's middle step to the right, middle step to the left. And I purposely don't try not to hit the same spot over and over again. Okay? If you do, you're not going to get all that nice little detail. You're going to make it go away. Okay? Just right down to the bottom there. Yeah. Knock that old tree out of your brush. Put maybe some little bushy things here as foots. Yeah, there we go. Oh, that's really nice. Really nice. Reload. You didn't know you could do a tree that easily, but you can. You can. He's got to have a friend though, right? You can't have this old tree by himself. We'll put another one right there. And we'll just come across in here. And you'll notice that sometimes one side of the brush works better than the other. I don't know why that is, but it does. Just come on down that old tree there. Look at that guy. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Now I'm going to set that brush to the side because we've got to put some highlights on these guys. So I'm going to take that fan brush that I was using for the snow. I'm going to put just a smidgen of the liquid white. I'm going to loosen it up a little bit because this titanium white is very thick and firm. Okay. So I'm just going to load him up. And something that I learned in certification, and if Pam's still watching, she'll probably agree. One of the things that I learned was that 90% of the work happens before you actually touch the canvas. Okay. It's the way you load the brush, the way you mix things. If this is right so far, when I walk up here and start doing my thing, everything will work out just fine. Okay. So I'm going to, again, tip your brush up. Just touch that old tree in a few spots here and there. We don't want to kill all that dark. Okay. Flip your brush. And I'm just barely touching. Okay, just barely touching. Take a step back. All right. Hello, hello. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the gifts. All of those little things are helpful to us, and I appreciate it. A few pennies never hurts. TikTok will start showing us to more folks that way. All right. Let me get some more paint. And I am adding a little bit more liquid white as I go, maybe a little bit of paint thinner. But do this very sparingly. You know, you don't want, when I first started painting, I would do this and I would make it to where it was almost dripping off the palette. And then I would come up here and touch and it would just be like a big blob. That's not what we're going for. No blobs, no blobs. Okay. Just come along, touch that old tree, but leave some darks, okay? And then at his foots, you can come in and just turn that old fan brush on its side, and look at that. Suddenly you have a whole bunch of little snow-covered bushes. And we can pull that out a little bit. look like there's some shadows under there. Very nice. Just wipe your brush. Now it's got a lot of that blue now, so I'm gonna wipe it. Pardon me, stepping in front of the camera. We're gonna wipe it off. And then just kind of come up in here, and that's just gonna look like shadows underneath that snow. Very pretty. Very nice. Okay. Look at that. Wow. You can do this if I can do this. It's just practice, a little bit of patience, and the right products. Okay. And I do that. And then now, when I do the summer version of this, there is a big old tree. And he's off to the side here, but there's some of his branches that are coming up. And so we're going to just kind of indicate some of those old branches there. Kind of like that, okay? You could even put the trunk of the tree if you wanted and make it look like he's kind of photobombing it, as the kids say. Just kind of coming in. If you don't want that big old tree there, you don't have to put him in. This is your painting. You're doing it at home. You do it however you want. Okay? Maybe there's another one up here. And he just kind of comes up there that way. And we got another one right in there. That's going to help to push that mountain even further back, which is what we want. Okay? Take a step back. Get your white. And loosen this up again just a little bit with some paint thinner. And then load that fan brush full of paint. I mean, it's all the way up to the furrow, basically. Come up in here. There you go. And that's really all that we're going to do for that tree. We're not going to do a whole heck of a lot with him. Okay. Set that brush down. Take a step back. See if you like it. All right. Man, we got a lot of folks watching. Thank you. Thank you for watching. I appreciate that. Any questions? I'm checking the chat right now. All right. Maybe. I see. Maybe. I don't really have anything over here. So maybe we'll just put, maybe there's some bushes just right in here. And they come down, oh, I don't know, maybe right there. All right. Well, they're there now. They are definitely there now. Kind of drag that a little bit. Pull that snow down. Picking up a lot more blue than I wanted. That's okay, we'll just add some more white. A lot more white here. Let it just kind of all mix together. There you go. Pull some of that out. There we go. Boy, that is a cold day. I live in the desert, so I am not used to that kind of weather. All right, I'm going to reload the fan brush. And just put in a few of those little doers. Once again, kind of pull it in. All right. Now we've just got two things left to do. And they both involve the liner brush. So I'm going to take my liner brush. Now, if you've watched me before, I always put 4 birds. Each one is for one of my miniature schnauzers that has left us. And just get that paint on there, and then you pull it to sharpen it. And it's got a lot of paint thinner in there. We need this paint to be very thin, okay? And that we'll almost get to a pencil-like sharpness. Now, if you're not too steady, you can get a stick, like this is just a dowel, but you can use it as a maul stick, okay? And you can kind of use that to steady your hand. And we'll just put one little M-bird right there. Now he's not coming off as much as I would have expected. I'm going to set that stick aside. I'll just use the easel. There we go. That's better. 2, 3, and 4. All right. Got our 4 little birds. And now we've got to put our finishing touches. No painting is done until you put your signature. So just use that thinned out paint. And come up here. Now, unlike Bob, I have a long last name. So it's going to take me a little bit longer than Bob did. But there you go. That is our painting. This is Alpine Meadow, but it's the winter version. I'm going to just come back up in here and maybe firm up some of that. There we go. There we go. All right, well, that's the entirety of the painting that you just saw from beginning to end. I don't know, it took us 30 minutes, 40 minutes. I've lost track of time. Probably longer than I had thought. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for all your comments, your gifts. If you enjoyed the live stream, the likes, the gifting, all that good stuff, throwing pennies our way, really, really helps. Thank you, Shay. Shay? I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Thank you for the follows. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Check out the YouTube. We're on YouTube. Just look up Paint with Sean. And I'll probably be on again later today. I think we're going to do a seascape sometime this evening. Probably around 5 o'clock this afternoon Mountain Time. So it's like 7 Eastern. Okay? Thank you very much. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.